Good morning everyone. Today is the day 2 of week 1's 15-day challenge of Harshita ma'am. So this is the question I did today. In this question we are told to remove duplicates from a sorted array. So first I am going to explain from my screen what I have coded, and then I will going to explain the solution in my copy. So here, as we are told to remove the duplicates, so we know that by seeing an array only we cannot remove the duplicates. First of all, we need to check whether the elements we are encountering, whether it is already we have encountered it in the past or not. If we are again encountering it, that means the certain element is a duplicate. So how we can do that? So we can here could have used a hash map, but we are using an hash set because we know that hash set has an complexity of 1, that's why constant complexity. So that is the first reason. And there comes this exact concept. This concept is very important of taking this index, and so let's first don't ignore this part first. So we are just checking if an element in a array or list, means first we are looping into an array or the list that is given to us, and after we are iterating over the array, then we are checking if each element of that array is present in our hash set or not. If not, then we are adding the element in the hash set. So till that we are understood till this. So now this part is little bit tricky, and we are going to understand it from my copy. So this is the code that I have written, and so from this chart we are going to understand the entire thing. So here I did a mistake. Instead of taking a sorted array, I have taken a normal array, unsorted array. So ignore that thing, because that will not going to impact our output, that's why. So first, as I told, why I am taking, so let's understand from this chart exactly. So the code is understandable. I will explain this two line from this chart. So we are initially having this array, okay, and each array elements have an indexing over it. So now this line is coming. After we enter into the for loop, we are going to check each elements of the going to check if each elements of the num set is present in the hash set or not. So if not, if the element of the nums array is not present in hash set, so first case, the first element is what? 10. So 10 if we are putting here, and then we are inserting it in the hash set, because this line is coming from here. We are inserting it in the hash set, and initially we have taken the index as 0. So the index is 0 here. And after that, see why we are writing this code part, this part. See why we are doing this, because so that we can modify the array in its own place without creating another array, because if we are creating another array, it will going to take some more space. So here what will happen is that the exact function of this code part is that this line is that we are going to modify the array in which we are working on its certain place. What does it mean? The mean is that suppose in that array, in the certain array, we have a duplicate, okay, so we are removing that duplicate and putting the next unique element at its place. So we are doing that exact operation in the exact array so that we don't have to create any another array. So this is the function of this part. So now see how it's actually working, because by seeing the working only we can understand more clearly. So here see, initially the index element was 0 and equal to the I value is 10, and okay, that's part it done. Then we are incrementing the index, okay, because we have to check the next iteration, that's why. Because so let's see, so the modified array is that 10, the first place 10, because it is already 10, so I didn't show by cutting it. Now there comes the second iteration. So because of the for loop, I will come to next iteration. And why index came here? Because as I shown that index also got incremented, that's why index also came in this iteration. So like that we again perform that I value is checked, like if I, but here we cannot enter into this logic because it is already present in the hash set, so we cannot. So the I value remains same and all this operation is getting skipped. So for the third case, means for the third iteration, see I is incremented because of the for loop, but index is not incremented because of this index is still now I, it is not incremented yet, that's why. So the next element is 18. So 18 is the element, and one can ask why I is the elements, because see in this case we are using this logic here, we are not using any range function. When we use range function in some okay, I did a mistake. If in for loop we are using any kind of range function and all, in that case we are getting the indexes, but here in this case as we are just using for I in nums, I will directly going to indicate the elements in the nums array. So that is the reason why I is all elements, not index here in this case. So again in addition in hash set takes place, index is 1 now. So now at array index is 1 equal to the ith element. So see then here initially the second element was what, means not second, that's 0 1, 1th place element was 10. That 10th element is being overwritten by this 18. So this is the exact working of this part. So in the same array we are doing this modification. So after we are done with that, we are incrementing the index once more, and see the index is incremented and I is here, but in this case I will not going to do anything because already the 18 is present, so skip and all. So the index will remain same as well from the first step, from the previous step. And now again I is incremented because of the for loop, and index is still there as previous step got skipped. And the next element is 13 is not present in hash set, so it will be included. The index is 2, that means the at array 2 the 13 will be putted. That means what is happening, initially there was 18 at that position, it will be overwritten by 13, and then index will be incremented, and then again 13 is present, that's why all the things will be skipped. And then at the last I is 12 and index is here, and again in hash set it is not present, that's I have to include it, 1 minute. So 12 we have included, and then we say so we are we have the index as 3, and we are doing this logic again at array index is here 3, that's why at 3rd position then this element we are putting. And see what is happening, at initially the thing was 13, it was overwritten as 12. So this is our final array without any duplicate that we have prepared. And then we are obviously, as this logic is there, so we are doing the increment finally, and we are getting this value is returned, because see return index. Now one question can be asked that why we are returning, because see we have already ended the duplicate thing at index 3, then why we are incrementing it by 1 and then returning the value? The reason is because it is starting from 0th indexes. So if we want to count it from in normal way, like 1 2 3 4, so if +1 is kind of okay to do, because in general person we cannot think of counting from 0, that's why. So this is more relevant as per the problem statement. So this is the entire solution.